Yugi is one of the best squad busters player in the world with over 7,000 trophies in Squad League. And today we're going to figure out what is his strategy to be this good, this consistent. I mean, this guy has a top 5 win streak of 1,259 games. I can barely get 10. All right, Mr. Yugi, welcome to the channel. One of the top squad busters player in the world here on this channel. And I kind of wanted to start off something that caught my attention, which is that 1,200 top 5 win streak. How did you manage to get that? That is just, for me, that's mind-blowing to be this consistent.
So first, thanks for the invitation, and then for the win streak, I focus really on the top 5s. So all the time I'm going to play my games more safe. Some people are going more to play for the top ones and rush the mid instantly. Me, I prefer to go for the farm, like take Greg for example, and farm some gems, gold, so I can build a good squad for the end game, and that's how I do most of my top 5, so I can keep my win streak.
So you mentioned Greg. Is he your favorite farmer?
Yeah.
Out of all of the farmers?
Yeah, for sure. He's like he's my 5-1 because like you can get like golds and gems with Greg, so that's way more interesting than the others, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also Greg is very efficient, meaning you can get 3 chops on the trees and boom, you've got gems and gold, and now you're on it. Whereas Mavis, it's a little bit slower. And what about the goblin? Is that do you consider? I mean, it's of course it's going to depend on the game, but is that a troop you usually like to start your games with, or you try to avoid it? Go for the farm? In
most of, as you said, like in most of the mods and game, I avoid the goblin. Like the only situation I take the goblin is like in the fusion, where I can start with him, so I can get like a lot of gold. But yeah, I always like prefer to take a Greg, and if I can take Greg, most of the time I just like start with a GPS instead.
Okay. All right. Well, right now we're seeing double heavies, Archer Queen. I'd like to talk a little bit more in general of what are your favorite troops, because you have more than 1,000 game played. So in your experience, I'd like to know a bit more. What is your favorite troop out of all the troops in Squad Busters? If you only had to choose one.
Yeah, you asked the question as the right time, because like I just got the tank, as you can see in my squad. I got 2 tank, and like this is like the best character right now in the game. Like it's probably the only S tier, even like it's way above like Greg and like everyone else. Like when you have it like this, it's not that good, but you'll see when I'll take the tank. Yep, I'm going to take the first one here, and if I can, okay, second one is not available, but
it's already taken.
Yeah, but this is like, first of all, this is very good because like she has a lot of HP and she did like the most damage. But like, it's also very good for something else. It's because like when someone's see that you have the tank, it's going to be like very scary for him, and you can avoid fight like this. So like this is a very good
So it's a way to kind of just tell your opponents, look,
yeah,
I have a tank. It's going to be very difficult to take me out, and if you want to fight with me, you're going to lose a lot of troops.
Exactly.
So psychologically, the tank is going to be definitely psychologically is going to be a big troop on the board, but also in the game, it's one of the best, as you mentioned.
That's like the first thing. Yeah, it's the best thing, but it's also like very scary for the opponent. So yeah, most of the time they will not push you if you have like 2 or 3 tanks. So that's why it's like very important to, whenever someone have the tank in the early game, is going to push the mid instantly just to take the tank, because like that it's like the most important thing. And since you have like only 2 tank spots per game, you have to like play for it like quickly as soon as you have like the tank in your squad.
All right, so there we go. We're gonna start instantly with Greg, as you mentioned, probably one of the strongest farmers in the game.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk a little bit more about troops that you want to avoid. The troops that might, beginner players might usually like to play them, but they don't bring too much value. Is there any troop that comes to your mind that's like something to avoid?
Yeah, I can think of like Dynamite, for example. I can avoid him like in every situation. You also have like the chicken. You need to avoid the chicken.
It's,
Like
just to come back on Dynamite,
Yeah.
he does. The strange thing is that Dynamite has that. It can splash. It's the only
Yeah.
unit that can splash in the game, and everybody's squad is clumped up. So you would think that Dynamite would be good, but
yeah,
does he just not do enough damage?
that's
Is it-
exactly that. So there is like a website where you can see like all the statistics, like detailed statistics of the all the characters, and like Dynamite is like the lowest, almost the lowest in terms of DPS, and that's weird because like he's an attacker, so that's weird for him, and he's also like the lowest in the HP category, so basically he's like the lowest in everything. So I think they were maybe scared like of like this splash thing. That's why like they put some
Yeah.
like low stats, and at the end like he's not that good. So yeah,
Honestly, bouncing is going to be, it's never easy to do,
Yeah.
but I think making a weak Dynamite at first was the right choice. I would have preferred a weak Dynamite
Yeah, for
than a
sure.
strong Dynamite that you would see in every squad because, well, he would wipe out.
yeah,
Wipe
that's
out
for sure.
lobbies.
And that's why I'm
That's-
scared
that's-
like of like the next patch, because like they're probably going to give a big buff on him. So we'll see if he's like if he becomes
see.
like the new meta character.
All right. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what is your attacking strategy, because there is, of course, it's going to depend on a million different factors, but how do you usually want to attack? Do you have a certain spell? Do you like to have a certain character, a certain speedster, like a hog rider? What is, for you, what are the best conditions to engage in a fight?
So first of all, you need to like with experience, like all the games you have. Like in most of the time, you will know like when you will engage a fight, you will know if like you're going to win the fight, you're going to lose the fight, or it's going to be like a 50-50. So first, the first rule I give to myself is like I never do like 50-50. Like the only time that I do it is like when it's the end of the game and I absolutely like need gems to like do a good top. But like for the fight, I like to have like an attack spell. So for example, the spell, like I forgot the name.
The lightning spell.
Yeah, lightning spell,
The lightning
exactly.
spell,
This
yeah.
one is like one of the best when you want to attack a squad. You can also like take some spell like the the purple one where like the troops.
Purple one, which makes the troops
Yeah,
smaller. Yeah,
exactly. This one is also very good because like if he don't have some turbo, you're going to like beat him easily. So yeah, like the spell is like probably the most important thing, but it's also like the timing you will have when you attack someone. You need like to attack him when you see you have no turbo, and when he's already fighting someone else. So for example, right now, as you can see, I attacked him when he had like.
So it's funny that we actually talked about the best troops kind of to engage a fight, but you mentioned that you need to really see what your opponent is and kind of judge, is it worth it? Am I
Yeah.
going to win? Am I going to lose?
Exactly, yeah.
Now, another kind of controversial topic inside of Squad Busters is consumables. So meaning mega units, fusion keys. I want to understand kind of what is your philosophy on that? How do you use them very often? Is it in which scenario do you use these keys? Kind of talk to us a little bit about what your thoughts are on these consumables.
Yeah, so I'm going to start like with the mega units. Like in my opinion, the mega units are not like that broken. I know that a lot of people like find them broken, but with like the rare drop you got in the chest, it's not that broken. But for the key, it's going to be something else, because like for example the fusion key, when you play against like some good players, if someone is using like fusion key, it's going to be almost impossible to win against him. So like this is way too broken for me. And for the two other key, the epic key, it's very good also, and the normal key, like I think like it's a good thing to put like a key like this in the game. But for the two others, yeah, it's way too broken. It gives you like an advantage like in the high games. It's way too like strong.
So it's like using those keys is kind of a way to guarantee a top 5, kind of a safe
Yeah,
option to
like the top 5. Yeah,
that's
it's like when you do a fusion key, like if you don't got the top 5, it's probably because like you got focused by different players in the game. But when you do a fusion key, like it's like more for the top 1 G-Weekly than the top 5. Like you know that when you do fusion key, you can like play for the middle instantly, for example. So so yeah, it's going to be like too strong because like you're going to probably have like if you put the fusion key and you have like a good character, for example the tank, the game is like over. It's already over. So yeah, you can play the mid, you can like have control on the mob.
Okay.
So that's why.
That's a really interesting take, because the mega units are they're a bit controversial, because it's like, well, you have to pay, you have to do all this, but when I talk to you, you're telling me that mega units are not that broken. They might be, again, visually like a big troop.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it may scare some opponents, but you'll still it won't be. It's not ridiculously too broken, and that's something that not many people, I think, maybe including myself at the beginning, I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
this
me
guy
too,
has
me
LT
too.
grade. This guy has the
Because
chicken.
like
Oh my god,
at first you are like scared of like the mega units, and like that's normal because like the troop like is very scary. It's like way bigger than all the other troops. But when you start like to do a lot of fights, and you see that, for example, when you will have some good fusions, for example, for me, in my opinion, like a barbarian king in fusion is probably going to be better than the two mega units, for example. So like you know that even if someone like have a mega unit, you can still beat him. But that's why when I compare it to fusion key, it's going to be way harder, because like when someone have a fusion key, you got something like way too broken compared to your squad. So that's why fusion key are like stronger.
Again, we're kind of going over the psychological aspect of squad busters.
That's very important thing, and I think like a lot of players don't realize that when they play. Like it's not always about like if you're going to win the fight or everything, but sometimes it's just going to be like are you like scary enough to like when people are going to like avoid fight with you and everything. So yeah, it's not always about like how strong is your squad, but like it's like how scary you are in the game.
Wow. Well, Yugi, thank you so much for kind of explaining to us everything that the squad busters, how you approach your games. Is there any last words, any shout outs you want to do for the end of the video?
Oh no, thanks for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to come to your channel. So I have nothing really to say, but just thank you.
I also want to point out that you do have a YouTube channel, which I will be linking in the description here. So a great content creator in English and also in French.
Yeah, mostly in English now.
I'll
focus more in English.
All right. Well, if you guys want to check out his channel, links will be in the description. Thank you so much, Yugi. And I'll see you in another video. Later, fellas.